Hey everybody, today I am so excited to welcome my new friend, Joe Carteret from Charlotte, who has decided to join eXp Realty. But the cool thing is, he's been here a month, so we're gonna interview him today and see how your experience has been. So welcome, Joe.
Thank you, we're super excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so I love his story because I met you a year-ish ago.
Yeah, October 21.
Yeah, and I was very impressed by him because new agent, couple years in the business. So his first year, after his first year, he decided to grow a team, and we'll talk about how that happened. It was sort of an organic thing.
Just happened, yeah.
Yep. And now you service 5 markets, from Charlotte to the coast, down to Charleston. So I'm just excited to dig in because I think a lot of newer agents are going to be inspired by you and what you're building. And then I want to just kind of hear what your journey to eXp has been. So take us back. You just get your license.
Yeah.
And where do you start?
Yeah, absolutely. So just celebrated 2 years actually. So April 2020 is when I had all my license, paperwork was done. I affiliated with a firm. I started with Keller Williams, great opportunity, and got there. Went like many because of training and what I had heard, right? All the things I had heard. Less than a month in, COVID hit right at March, I guess, 2020. And
Surprise.
They said, hey, we're shutting down the office. And so you think about brand new agent, career change for me. I had just gotten licensed in February and this happens. I affiliated with a firm and I was like, hey, I'm gonna get out there and get all these deals. And then all of a sudden the office shut down. So I think that was the moment I basically said, hey, I'm either going 100% behind this. I'd already put so much forth thus far, right? And so or I'm gonna give up.
Right.
And those who know me know that that's not really an option. So we charged forward.
Yeah. So no office. You're not going to the office. There were some classes, of course, that were they offered virtually. How did you learn how to navigate? Because your first year you did about 20 million, which is awesome, right?
Yeah. My first year as a solo agent, I did a little over 3.5 million as a solo.
Last year's 20
It was
million.
the last where we started a team, and I know we'll get into that in a moment. But you know, it was one of those things that I think we all get in those moments of where you're faced with a roadblock, and COVID and the office shutting down was that roadblock. And I think so many of us around the country or in business, personal, we all face those roadblocks. It was the people that were going to just sit there and let it fester and be a problem for them. Or was it going to be where I stepped up and said, hey, how do I get around this? I know that the end result is bringing in income for my family and being able to provide, and very fortunate and blessed that my wife at home has a fantastic job, very established. So we had that comfort, but with my personality and the way that I like to operate, I wasn't going to allow us just to sit on that. So.
And I don't think she would have been like, hey, honey, it's been a year. You haven't sold
tough.
house.
She's a tough cookie. So she would have let that ride for about 30 days and then called me to it, which I need and am grateful for. But yeah, I mean, there was virtual offerings that were pre-recorded or pre-built type classes that I certainly could get into. I don't sit still for stuff like that. And I love being around people and being face to face. So the first 30 days was a little bit of a challenge not being able to do that. And oh, by the way, I was brand new. But I started realizing that, hey, I can still get on the phone. I can still use social media. I can still send a postcard or a letter, a handwritten note. And I just did the basic things that I knew. I don't know what this real estate thing's about, but I like to connect with people. What are the basic ways I can connect and it be genuine?
Right.
And then from there, a relationship is built. And from there, it's the, oh, by the way, we're thinking about selling or whatever it may be.
Right.
Yeah.
So you went right to the people and you were like, hey, I'm new. Because what was your background?
Yeah, so I was in protective services. I did security consulting and investigations, corporate protection my whole life. And it was really about being around people. I was always around people. And it was about looking after people was my end goal. And so this, for me, was a career shift where it was just a different way in which I was looking after people. I was looking after their futures and their finances.
Right.
And so I thought about how I operated in my previous career and how we constantly had to get over roadblocks. A roadblock there could be life or death. It could be, you know, somebody's health. You put them in the hospital, things like that. And so I just shifted it over to, hey, looking after their finances and their well-being and their family as if it were mine.
Right. Right.
And so I think the biggest thing for me in the learning in those first couple of months were nobody's going to do it for you.
Right.
Nobody's going to save you.
Nobody's coming.
Yeah, if this is going to get done, you're going to have to charge for it and find a way. And was it perfect? No, it was sloppy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we got past those roadblocks. My very first deal was a FSBO.
Oh, fun.
And both sides of the deal.
Oh,
and what
good.
happened with that was it was just, I picked up the phone and called. The things we learn as agents,
Yeah.
right? I called and said, hey, tell me why you're selling your house. And it kind of spiraled from there, but I'm sure
You
we'll
went
get
for the
into
listing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, of course.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if you had the buyer and you called. So
Yeah.
So end of the first year, you had done $3 million, which is awesome, right? Brand new agent. Now you mentioned something, you were building relationships with the other agents. So talk a little bit about that, because you're now in 5 different markets: Charlotte, the Coast, and Charleston. You love being in all the different MLSs, and you were talking about KW kind of hindered you in that movement in your vision. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think in real estate, those that are watching that are in real estate or not, you have to engage people. And one of the first places you engage is your sphere.
Yep.
And you want to be able to reach out to people and tell them you're in real estate and, hey, this is what I'm doing. And you want to be able to find out, hey, if you thought about buying and selling, or talk to them and start getting around to the idea of real estate and what's going on in the market. So we did that, but I also started engaging other brokers, because being a new agent, what you learn is you got to get training.
Yeah.
You either have somebody that happens to take you under their wing, or you got to go out and ask for it, right?
Yeah.
And so I wasn't going to sit by knowing that we were all in lockdown. And I just started picking up the phone and looking at the directory at KW and calling agents and starting to introduce myself. When we got to a place of getting out, started taking them to coffee or a glass of wine, whatever it may be, just to get FaceTime.
Yeah.
And the reason is I immediately started joining other MLSs because there was a need. I've got family at the coast. My sister was going to vet school in NC State, and there was an opportunity for a listing up there. And we took it. I jumped on it and said, sure, we'll get that business. I started building relationships with those brokers with the idea of, hey, these brokers are in Charlotte. They're bound to know someone in Raleigh. I want to be their go-to guy when they say, hey, I need somebody that I trust and know. And so those relationships started to form, and sure enough, we got to a place up until today, we're doing about 65% of our business through broker-to-broker referrals.
That's so cool.
And it's just because of those relationships that kind of just started, because I had to meet people.
Right,
It's kind of by chance. But
yeah. So you then decided to jump from KW to a smaller independent. Talk a little bit about that, and then finally over to our firm.
Yeah, and so, very grateful for all of my experiences. I think all of us, we take something from the places in which we are and the families we engage with, right? And so I'm very grateful for all the places that I have been and had the opportunity to do business. I left KW, it was a big KW office.
Yeah.
Being new and kind of feeling like a small fish in a big sea. One of the things that was lacking was the collaboration from a standpoint of kind of a big picture collaboration to where people are wrapping their arms around you. And you can't expect that in real estate, I understand.
No.
But it's nice to have. And so I decided to step back and go to a smaller brokerage where it was more of a family environment. It was a small number of agents. And I did so simply because there was a couple opportunities where I couldn't do commercial at KW. I had a client that wanted to do commercial. And so I went to a small commercial firm to do residential real estate. And it was great. We had a great year. 2021 was the year that we were at the small brokerage firm, and we had a fantastic year. It just so happened around the same time as I was leaving KW, the lady Mary that was doing my transaction coordination, she was there, and I said, hey, I'm going to be leaving. She said, well, when do we leave? And that meant a lot to me. There was more to it than just the thought of, oh, good, now I have somebody to do my transactions. It meant a tremendous amount to me. And that's when, at that moment, I decided, hey, I love being around people on a team as well. And the idea of a team started to formulate in 2021 and officially started in February 2021. We started a team.
I love that. And now you have Mary.
Yep.
You have 5 total agents. Mary is also in production.
Yep.
And you guys did 20 million last year. So what is your vision moving forward now that you've, because team is leadership. I always say when people join a team or start a team, sometimes they forget, oh my God, I'm in production. Now I have to teach and coach and train and inspire. And, it's a whole different set of skills. Have you found that you've enjoyed it? And do you want to keep growing it? Or are you at a perfect place right now with the 5-6 people?
Yeah, and most of my career, all my adult life, I've been on some sort of team or been involved, or I've led the team, whether it's a team of 2 or a team up to about 55. And so I enjoy that. Yeah. I think that, we as individuals in the work market here, we have to work. We're gone from our homes and our families the majority of the hours, daylight hours, right? Sometimes into the evenings. I want to do it with other people that are like-minded, people that I enjoy genuinely being around. And so I think what I've learned and have always learned in that kind of environment where I've led the team is that it's an enormous responsibility. Anybody that thinks that you just, throw the team hat on and say, hey, we got a team, come work at, said team, it's not like that. I take it home with me. I take a tremendous amount of responsibility for their production and their well-being. And so I think for us, it's about continuing to sharpen the team that we have. Based on how we're expanding, we do need to grow headcount. So we are actively now starting to put some efforts into recruiting to continue to grow our agent count that is on our team, while also, and we'll get into this in a minute, growing our partners within EXP now. And so, but as the business grows, you have to have the agents to take care of those clients to the level that we want to take care of our clients. So it's really about sharpening the team that we have, continuing to bring good players on, being more particular about the talent that we are bringing on, because that was a learning for us in 2021 as well.
Yeah. And I love, he has a great brand, so follow him on social media. You have a great brand.
Oh, thank you.
And you mentioned too, the thing that you loved about EXP is you kept your brand. It wasn't come to our company and now you're all EXP. It's no, come to our company, let our firm empower your brand. So talk a little bit about the last 30 days as we wrap up, what your experience has been. Do you feel a difference? Do you have a new excitement about it? How are you going to leverage the platform to empower your business?
Yeah. Personal brand has always been important to me. I think, and I truly believe this, that at the end of the day, a client is going to work with the agent and come back to that agent. And so it's important that wherever you are in real estate, that you are empowered and constantly reminded to build your personal brand. And so for us, we knew that being new in real estate, we had to get out and meet people. We had to make sure they knew who we were, right? So that when they hear the Carteret group or Joe Carteret or an individual agent on my team, they correlate that to amazing service. They correlate that to the things we want to be known for. And so for me, as we shifted over to EXP, it has, in the 30 days we've been here, it has allowed us to continue to be business owners, and we own what that brand looks like. We own how we show up each and every day, literally, but also, figuratively, as we're building that brand and what we want to be known for. We want to align with a partner that has the same reputation. And so for us, it is just going to continue to allow us to expand upon our branding efforts and give us the reach, because EXP is global. So we're going to be able to do more with what we've already kind of built on.
I love that. And last thing, we'll end up, have you participated in any of the mastermind groups that we've done, the weekly masterminds? Let's touch on that, because you mentioned at the other firm, you didn't feel that collective, which nothing, there's nothing bad about it. I actually was at that firm, at RE/MAX, great companies, but I think we're so trained to be individual, because if it's to be, it's up to me. And I never had this, I have to make sure Joe's business okay, the guy down the hall, the lady down, it was about us and our business, but it's a little different here.
It is. I think there's two components of it. I think one could say, oh, well, EXP is set up to where any agent that I bring into the business, which is one of the reasons I joined EXP, is because I wanted to start thinking about what's more than just real estate, and how can my team also grow other avenues of wealth. And when you look at the revenue share and the opportunity to be able to literally gain from bringing people into the company, but thinking about it a little deeper, because as humans, I truly believe we want to do what's right. We want to do for people because of the authenticity behind it. And one of the things that caused me to come specifically to you, Tina, is that when we did meet in October, we left that, and there was a couple moments of engagement, whether it's through Instagram or wherever it was, but I was looking for more around your ISA program. You connected me with, I believe, Mike, and you basically said, give him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And it was so weird to me in a positive way,
Yeah.
and I just was kind of shocked by your openness and your willingness to collaborate with me. And part of it was certainly you wanted me to join EXP, but the bigger part was it was authentic, and it was who you are as an individual. And that's what I love so far about EXP, and what we're able to do is, if we collaborate, not only do we build our, well-being and our businesses, but we also build the other leaders. We build that agent's ability to grow. And as they grow, we grow, the brand grows. And so for me, everyone's after the same goal. And the collaboration is more centered around, hey, I genuinely want to help you.
Right.
You probably didn't think much of it, but you gave me a job description. And at the end of the day, I was then able to pull that job description and pull it out and see where and when that's going to fit into growing my brand. And it said, hey, you know what? I remembered that. And that's a leader that I want to surround myself around, because A, I learned a tremendous amount from you, but I know that that's who you are, and that's why you're so successful. And so I wanted to kind of shift the way I operated to kind of that mindset as well.
I love that. And my belief is too, it's like, we're all in this together. We're protecting our industry. There's a lot of different people, businesses that want in the castle. They want in the castle, and this is a belly to belly business. And so for me, it's like, the stronger we make our agents, the better we make our agents.
Of course.
I feel like I own this brokerage, because I do, and so do you. And so if you're a peer now at my brokerage, I don't care if you join in California under somebody else, oh yay, we got an agent at our firm. It's our firm. So, when we're out there teaching in the cloud, I'm not getting paid for that, for that moment, but I kind of am, and so it's just really cool to have that. So I'm excited you're here. I think we're going to see a lot of growth from you. Your energy is great every time we're around you, and I think that's why you're so successful so quickly, because your clients know that you care. You actually want to engage with them, and it's not just about a paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, one of our biggest pieces of our brand is we truly care about our clients. We take it past the transaction. We kind of were just laughing about a transaction earlier about where a past client called me that I really wasn't intentionally trying to go after their business. I genuinely love these individuals and being around them and spending time with them. But because of our care, and there's so many examples within my company that my team does this, because of their care, we have all 5-star reviews on Google. We have clients that are constantly referring us people. And as soon as they bump into someone and they hear real estate from their friends, it's like, oh, you got to call Joe, or oh, you got to call the Carterets. And so at the end of the day, I truly believe if you take care of people, people will pay it back to you. And that's what EXP stands for. The collaboration is second to none. It's been 30 days for us, and we can't wait for what's to come, certainly.
Yeah, you've already brought on a business partner.
Two. Yeah, we've got two.
And, which is so cool.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But we've brought people onto the company because we've simply sat down, and both the example was I went, had bourbon, and said, hey, let's chat. And it was that easy, because at the end of the day, when you have a product worth pursuing and you have individuals behind it that are advocates for that product, it's a no-brainer. People want to know what EXP is about. And certainly we invite them to find out more.
Yeah, well, you can't deny it's a force. So I'm glad that you're on our rocket ship, and let's see where we can take it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Partner.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we'll see you later. See you next time.